I basically would say, like with the blocks and the reveals, if you've got to pay credits for them, I think you should only be allowed to use them once. If you've actually had them as pulls from a deck, say you've got 5 blocks saved up, I think you should be allowed to use as many as you like as you go along.
I was going to use
because you've earned the right to do that. People, welcome to another edition of that finger tapping frenzy that we all know and love, the WWE SuperCard, with me, Big Jim, and Ninja Boy. Now, today being Sunday, it's the final day of Last a Man Standing, or in many cases, freezing, because some of you seem to be having trouble playing the game. Now, we always seem to hit these snags, glitches, call you what them are. When you call it a glitch, some people think that you can maybe take advantage of a glitch, but this isn't a glitch. This is a full-on shudder to a halt, and it's not working. And it's not right for those people who've spent 2 or 3 days ploughing not just a lot of time and effort, but for this game, let's be honest, you have to put some credits in it to make any real progress. So I'm sure that a lot of those people who have suddenly frozen, they're the guys who've been playing regularly. They'll have spent quite a few credits on this already. So going to be interested to see how that resolves itself, especially with Cat Daddy, will there be any sort of compensation to people this has affected. What I would say is, I've seen a suggestion, I've not tried it myself, but I have seen a suggestion that if you go into the downloadable content and deselect it, and then reselect it, and re-upload all the images, etc., it does help clear the board if you've got a frozen board. You can give it a try, you might as well, as there's not many other things you can try. Certainly switching off and turning back on again doesn't do anything. But thankfully it's not affected us here, so you know, I can sympathise, but also I have to say I'm really grateful it's not affected us, because I don't know what we do. Now, you may know, you may be aware, I was out and about for the first 2 days of Last Man Standing, so I was in an area of the UK, I was in Dorset, which has very little phone signal and very poor Wi-Fi connections. So I did throw a few credits at the game to start off with. And I kind of got myself in a position where I feel that having started off with a few credits, I've continued throwing a few credits at it. I'd openly admit that I'm thinking, I'll make the effort on this one, but come the next one, don't think I'm going to be spending any credits. Now, you've just about used up all yours as well, haven't you? Anything that you had stockpiled left after your saved up ones that you hadn't spent on those packs. Well, as you can see where I am.
Also the ones from reaching WrestleMania tier. Check out the video.
Check out yesterday's video to see Ninja Boy hitting WrestleMania tier and getting a freebie. Yeah, as you can see, 1,043. I've got a card at the moment lined up to get something that's in the 36s, which is kind of what I was aiming for. I'll be happy with that, to be honest. I'm in arena.
Ecstatic.
I'm in arena 51, I think. I'm not going to play just yet. But thanks, mate. But a lot of that was done. Yes, there's tactics you can employ, and I'm not going to repeat the same things that people have said. It has amused me seeing some people say, here's some tactics, and they've basically got about 10 or 15,000 credits to spend. There's not much. It's not much use to the average person, that is it?
Spend £100.
What I've tended to do, which I'm sure a lot of you do, is just see how the first few pulls go. And then decide whether it's worth trying to expose some other obstacles, or indeed you get a little run going and then just protect that run by putting your 20 credits on. That's kind of been my main method. I've just chanced my arm a bit and seen how far I can get. If I get 5 or 6 cards in on a run, then I'll just protect that run, keep that going as long as I can, bank that money, and then the rest of it, just see how I get on, basically, is the bottom line on that.
At the start it was like press your luck the whole way, but getting towards, later stages, it's
tough.
You have to just bank.
It is tough.
First.
I mean, I was actually doing okay. It's all about having a balanced deck, to be honest with you. And I was doing okay when I didn't have my AJ Styles Pros. You can see I've now pro'd the event card, which obviously I'm glad. And I needed to do that, and I couldn't really work on it till I got back in London on Friday evening. So I got that done, dropped him in, and it immediately put me up against some much tougher opponents, and having some compatible cards obviously really helps. And you can see Kevin Owens Titan is my weakest, but also what did help was having my third Titan Fusion from the Chambre de Fusion was young Becky. Now, that was fantastic.
You've had a female every time,
I know.
you? You've had two
I had
Beckys
Becky,
and a Paige.
then I had Paige, then I had Becky again, and I've got another one on the go. So it's just fingers crossed for Paige again. So that was ideal because my fourth female in my deck was actually a single WrestleMania female. So that has meant that so far I haven't lost a single female match. They're all well within my grasp. Got to keep the females
For me, I've
within
lost
your grasp.
plenty of female matches,
So
but not really any males.
You're struggling a bit on that side, but not on the male side, are you?
Yeah, I'm
Again,
the opposite.
it's down to the balance in your deck. So if you've got like a nice balanced deck of 8 WrestleMania pros and 4 WrestleMania female pros, you're farting for joy. You're laughing all the way to the bank. Although let's be honest, you're probably not, because you're probably having to go to the bank to withdraw several £1,000s to play the game. One other thing I do have that
Back already.
I was quite happy with. If we just go to my cards and I'll actually put it onto combinable. I have got my second Shane McMahon that I collected. I haven't even locked him down, look. That I collected on Saturday morning. It was my first pull on Saturday morning. So my first day home, full day home, started off very happily. And I've tried to do a bit of work with him. Doing that, obviously, on the war side of things. We're going to see there's a lot to check through when you're doing these events these days. As you can see in War pay-per-view, on pay-per-view, player v player, the amount of times I say pay-per-view, I don't know what, the PPV, PVP, I've gone dyslexic in my old age. As you can see, I'm in second place, but the important thing is that I'm just trying to get that Shane card powered up. And there's my Becky and there's Paige who's just about done as well. But you do get those pulls, the reveals, etc., that come in useful when you're doing your LMS.
And the blocks.
Your last man standing. And your
I'd like
blocks.
to know if anyone's pulled a
And your
multiplier,
blocks.
because we haven't.
Yes, that's the first question. Well, it's time to give like some honest opinion on all of this. So, firstly, I would say, and I did say this, and I had my little rant. It's a couple of videos ago when they announced Last Man Standing, and we first saw the details as revealed by some of the US YouTubers who've been lucky enough to be taken to Seattle and shown what was going on. You've got your reveal 60 credits, you've got your block for 20 credits, you've got your multiplier. If you want to be anywhere in the top 500 or 600, you're going to be playing that every single hand. So you've got 180 credits going out of your wallet.
100
Every attempt at an arena. So obviously you get 600 credits for a fiver. It's probably $5. It's £5. Maybe it's a bit more in America in terms of dollars, but it's a fiver here in England. So that is a lot of cash you've got to work through. Now I know some people will say, but you're going to get a guaranteed card at the end of it, so it's worth it. That's not the point. That's not the point. You shouldn't be having to pay that amount of money just to play in a regular
Plus,
event.
it's not even guaranteed.
No, it's not guaranteed because
But if you do spend a lot of money, then it is.
you will shuffle up and down. The one big difference between this and PCC in terms of ranking is one of the frustrating things with PCC was obviously if you couldn't play for 2 or 3 hours, you had to go off and do something, and you came back, you'd gone whizzing back down the ladder again. You'd gone shooting down that league table. Whereas with this, certainly today, Sunday, the 4th day of play, found that stepping away for a couple of hours hasn't made a great deal of difference because I think people are actually finding their level, and some people have just said, I'm not doing it anymore. Some people, of course, are being frozen out of the game. So it's kind of an easier Sunday, but you can't escape from the fact that to progress now, you've got to put money into it. And of course, something I've not mentioned is if you do lose all of your hearts and it kicks you out the game for a bit, it kicks you out initially for a minute, it starts building up. So eventually when you get kicked out for an hour. Now there is a function where you can, surprise, surprise, spend some credits. You spend 100 credits and it will let you play again. Which, if you then lose that arena again, or you lose all your hearts again, it's another hour wait. It doesn't reset all your waiting time as well. So, I just feel that there's going to be people who can afford it. I know we keep saying if you can afford it, it's fine. But that's not really the point. The point is this should be a game that's accessible to everybody. And yes, free players can chisel their way through the lower arenas and the lower ranks. And Ninja Boy, you've effectively been a free player through this, haven't you? You used just what was left. what was left of your credits, and where are you up to? Actually, that'd be a good example. Get you in. Well, what I could do is call up the leaderboard.
Now, I have spent credits, but they're spare credits from,
Well, it was what was
spare
left
ones
over
from
from
Login
your...
bonus, and of course from reaching WrestleMania 2.
Yeah.
I think it was 350.
You only collected that 350 yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, and as you can see...
So these weren't credits that that I bought for him. These are credits that he'd stored up and that he got for going up to WrestleMania tier.
As you can see there.
So as you can see, he's 5th in Team BadLadDad. He's in Arena 37, and you got what, 69,000 points. So that gives you a rough idea. He's been chiseling whenever he can. Are you now locked out for an hour if you lose as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been for a while.
So basically, that's the kind of level. If you're a free player, that's the kind of level. Now you see where I am. Initially, there's a bit of luck involved in that as well, because I was chancing my arm when I was on a train journey back from Dorset to London. It was a 2.5 hour train journey using the train Wi-Fi. Now, on the plus side, when I was losing the Wi-Fi and the game was collapsing, it does actually keep your progress, which is a plus. Because it's so frustrating when you're doing Road to Glory or something, and it get network error halfway through and it crashes out and you've lost your bout and you lost your game or what have you. It does at least keep your progress, but I was doing a lot of gambling, a lot of out-and-out gambling with my points, I have to say, and I got fairly lucky, so that did help at the outset. But today... I spent 600 credits this morning playing, and then I loaded another 600 credits this afternoon, and then I stopped. I thought, well, hang on, I could just keep doing this, because it's so easy to chisel your way through those credits. So I'm just now picking off a few matches when I can, and I tend to bank around 500 points. Yes, mate, what were you going to say?
At the moment, this is the card you're going to get.
Me?
Yes, that's all in the 36,000.
See, now, I have to say... Initially, well, I have to say because it's our video, so someone's got to say something. Initially, I would have been happy with something around 35,500 on those stats. I thought that wouldn't be a bad card to have, and even if you could just break 35, I think that's pretty strong. And then 34s upwards, decent to have. Then it starts becoming a bit weaker, but they're still worth going for at the end of the day if you can get to a reasonable level. And as you can see now, that's what you can get, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted a card. I was happy if it was just low 33s.
Yeah.
To be in the 34s, that would really make me happy.
So Ninja there is 34.5, 34.3, 34, nearly 3, 34.4. You're going to get a fairly decent card if you can stay in and around that level. Mm-hmm. So in terms of gameplay, it's fun. I enjoy playing it. But there are immediate changes. Well, let's think immediate changes. Immediate changes, if you're going to have to pay 100 credits. They say it's not a bout-driven game. Well, no, but you lose your 5 hearts and you're kicked out for an hour. If you're going to pay 100 credits to get back in and play immediately, I believe that it should reset the counter as well. So that then you're kicked out for a minute after your next defeat, and then you're back on that schedule of delays. All these other things, though, that you have to pay for...
A strong idea.
They're not going to change it, let's be honest. They're not going to change it. I mean, I should think from this event alone, they've made an absolute packet. An absolute packet. And even if none of us play anymore after this, even there's just a few people, a few dedicated, die-hard, don't care about their wallet type people who want to get those top cards, then, Cat Daddy as a developer and the mobile game itself is doing what it needs to do. It's earning some money. And you do have the argument that people spending money on it keeps the game alive for the rest of us. My counter-argument to that is, well, what's the flaming point playing if the only people who can succeed are the ones who are spending the money? Personal viewpoint, but it does get me a bit cross sometimes.
One thing I'd like to say is that I wish they'd make the obstacles less, because, 5 obstacles, if you hit them without blocking it or revealing any, you're out. But even so, I'm in like arena 30 something, I think 37, and there's 7 obstacles.
Which is steep.
It's ridiculous.
It is steep.
And also, I think the multiplier should be able to use once, but you should be able to use as many blocks and reveals as possible.
Yeah. I would say if you...
that way they might earn more money.
I basically would say, like with the blocks and the reveals, if you've got to pay credits for them, I think you should only be allowed to use them once. if you've actually had them as pulls from a deck, say you've got 5 blocks saved up, I think you should be allowed to use as many as you like as you go along.
I was going to use 2
because you've earned the right
reveals.
to do that.
I moved up to Arena 31, my 6 obstacles. I was going to use 2 reveals to reveal all the obstacles. Only let me use 1, so it only revealed 3.
Yeah. Now, I'm led to believe in later arenas you can use more.
Yeah.
But as I say, I'm in, was a 51 or something. I'm still limited to 1. And it is frustrating when you've got a few saved, because the best way is nip out, go into the PvP, player v player mode, and get yourself some reveals and blocks, and then go back into the main game. It is frustrating when you're sitting on 3, 4 or 5 of those and you can only play 1 at a time. And I think that would at least make free players feel a bit more looked after, a bit more loved, if they actually had an advantage by playing the game, which is what it should be about. You've got the advantage of you can use as many as you like. Seems like a fairly simple thing, and that wouldn't affect It's not saying that Cat Daddy don't charge people for this, because that charge can still be there for those who want to pay for it. But the free player gets an advantage for a rare occasion. So let's go in. I mean, I'm sure you've been watching people playing this all over the weekend.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play 1, I guess.
Perhaps give you an idea on how we're getting on. So I'm Arena 47. I'm saying that I was 51 for some reason.
37.
I don't know why I thought it was. Well, I thought it was that high up. Anyway, look, here we go.
Oh yes, obstacle first time, yeah.
Same here. I mean, it is good to get rid of those obstacles as quickly as you can. So yeah, my females, whether they're compatible or not, doesn't matter. You'll see the standard female I've been playing. It's an easy win. So now if I've got my females, the remaining 2 cards, or indeed my Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles event cards, the male cards remaining, it's going to be an easy win. The rest, it's down to compatibility in tag teams. So what I'm tending to do now, you'll see here as I go through, if I get an obstacle, then I've lost it. But what I'll basically do, normally get quite a strong male against you at the start, as you can see.
I didn't actually.
I always seem to get that. I have seen other people, it seems similar for them and not for others. It's just, there seem to be quirks in different people's games. For me, that first male, if that's what you get as your first match, tends to be, as a single, it tends to be pretty tough. Yeah, so what I try and do is get up to about 500 points, and if I manage to get there without getting my first obstacle, I'll bank that and then move on. Just see how far I can go. But I think I'm going to be stuck in Arena 47 now, probably for the rest of the day. That's kind of good. That's kind of good, because what I'll do now I've had the 3 revealed. How are you doing, by the way, mate?
I'm doing alright. Yeah, just casually playing here. Done a bank, hit a couple of obstacles.
Now I've had the 3 revealed. If I get past 3 or 4 wins, I'll just protect it. That's whereas, and 20 credits is obviously the cheapest that you can spend. So I'll just protect myself for a little bit and see if I can put a little run together. Alright, just got the 1 more card to go, which is my 1 WrestleMania Pro that's not an event card right now. This is before Shane gets done, of course, which is Carl Anderson. Hey! Look who that is!
Straight away making an impact.
She's straight into action. For those of you who have not seen yesterday's video of Ninja Boy hitting WrestleMania 34 tier, perhaps you may be able to guess what you got as a freebie. But if you haven't seen the video, go and check it out.
Yeah, go and check it
out.
Go
and check it out.
Or else.
Or else what?
Or
else nothing, alright? You've been warned.
I'm going to do a reveal. Yeah.
For male, so as I say, females have been very comfortable wins all the way through. Not a problem with my females. This is where I'm now going to start thinking about protecting the run.
I could get a big haul of points here.
I might just try 1 more, which will probably be a bad idea. Right, well, I'm going to stick the block on now because I've only got 1 heart left. Oh, jeez.
Nice.
It's happened a lot. It has happened a lot. Well, I'm not going to do any more. I'm just going to keep playing until I get kicked out. And then you'll see female. Easy win.
That Matt Hardy has just been deleted.
What I may do, it's not worth banking 47 points. If I get into the hundreds, I might have to start just banking something, otherwise I've got zero. I've got zero out of this. Absolutely nothing. Ah, well.
Oh.
That's...
Wait.
Might just do it.
No.
And didn't do it. And there we go. That's me done. That's me out of action. So look, we'll get the hour, 59 minutes, 54 seconds.
Oh God. Please don't lose, please don't lose, please don't lose.
So I very successfully didn't get any points out of that. But like I say, I'm not unduly concerned because there's not too much movement going on in terms of the ladder right now. I think particularly in the UK as well, we've had a fantastic weekend of weather, so some people have just thought, oh, to hell with that, let's just go out. I'm not going to sit around playing that game all afternoon. I might manage to chisel my way into the top 1,000. I will keep going, so I'll be back at it. What's the time now? 20 to 6 on Sunday evening. Oh, time moves on. I'll probably chisel back into it in an hour's time, just see what I can get out of it. And, let's be honest, while I was playing there, I was talking to you, so I wasn't paying that much attention. And I wasn't that too concerned about it, I have to say. But yeah, so those general view and general feelings are, love the fact we've got new gameplay, very positive about that. It became quite clear very early on that to progress you need to spend credits. It's then a matter of how far you're prepared to go in spending the credits. Ninja Boy here, as you can see, has done extremely well just spending a few credits. Having said that, the credits he had, he's not going to hit a new tier every week, so those 350 credits he got for hitting WrestleMania yesterday wouldn't be about, and the few bits and pieces from his logins. And those little 2 credits you get from your free pack every day, they're not really going to be enough. Now I've said that, I think I've got a free pack to collect.
Ooh, 3752, get in. Big run of points.
Well done, mate. Let's just claim this one. Go on, give us a Titan just for a laugh. Yeah. Didn't think so. I didn't think so.
Only Survivor, sadly.
So yeah, it's not really the jury's out on it. I've enjoyed it. Sorry, mate, what's that?
What? Nothing.
I thought you were going to say something profound and exciting. So yeah, I guess the summary is, 1, the game shouldn't be breaking down. For all those people who've had that frustration of their game freezing on them, I hope things get resolved. If it has happened to you and you get some sort of compensation from Cat Daddy, let me know how they resolve it. Did they resolve it quickly? Did it take them a day? Did they not resolve it at all? Did this thing where you can go into downloaded content, the DLC, if you deselect that and then reselect it again, I don't know if you have to deselect it, crash out and then go back in. Perhaps it's better to try and do it that way. And then reselect it so it can upload everything again. Maybe give that a go, see if that helps, and if that does help, please let us know down below, because we need you guys to test these things out and let us know if they work or not. So yeah, happy with the game, not happy with the credits. Yes, I'll play it again, although very much on a lower scale, because I'm not going to be in a position where I was at the start of this event, where I was worrying I was going to get left behind by everyone, because, as I said, I hadn't got access to phone and Wi-Fi. What I did have was very little, maybe an hour a day. And so I was really thought, I'm going to spend a few credits just to get myself up and running on this. Typical that I was away for a new event. Having come back to London now and seeing what's going on, yeah, it's an eater of credits, an eater of worlds, an eater of a world of credits, perhaps. I can't see Cat Daddy not having some of these things available in terms of being able to buy, but there are tweaks they can make. As I say, if you're going to spend 100 credits on being able to play the game again, to reset the timer completely. If you're able to pull some blocks and reveals from War Mode, whatever the PvP is at the time, then you should be able to play as many of those as you like. As a dedicated player, you should get that as a reward. You should be able to use as many as you want. And that does give you a slight advantage over people who are just going to pay their way to success. Don't get me wrong, some people who pay also do a lot of play. And I know, the combination of the two is pretty formidable. You've got high a high-ranking player who's going to play non-stop and he's prepared to splash the cash, well, you've got someone there who's supporting the game and deserves everything they get. So good luck to them. In the meantime, there's people like me who've like paid for a bit, and then there's people like Ninja who's done a flipping good job up against the odds. So let us know how you've done. Let us know your own thoughts. If you've got any other suggestions on what should be done, let us know how you get on with Cat Daddy if that game really is giving you problems. And just time to say all the usual gubbins. If you like what you've seen, give us a few likes down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. All the usual social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where all the banter is. Until we see you next time, you stay cool.